policies, language was used as a very powerful weapon, as a very powerful tool to continue or to install or to plant a colonial domination for a longer time. When we look at the policies which government of India is trying to project or is trying to popularize, we find that it is focusing on a certain language or on a certain culture, on a certain religion. It seems that it is focusing on a certain language, a certain culture, a certain religion, and is trying to implement these things in the parts of India actually. So in connection with the novel The Inheritance of Laws, we find that this problem is very much visible there. This implementation by the government is very much visible there. So the era of former colonialism is over, and new form of colonialism has emerged in the world's political scene actually. This theorist says that the economic system and political policies of the colonized countries continue to be directed from the outside. The ex-colonized countries operate in the direction of foreign capital. I will repeat this line. The ex-colonized countries operate in the direction of the primary capital, conveying the idea that the state in the grip of neo-colonialism is not the master of its own identity, is not the master of its own destiny. He further says that colonial territories, he highlights the reason for it. He says that colonial territories were divided into many small political regions. Due to the regional politics and the result of these international divisions, they were not able to handle their own political affairs properly. He writes that how Western capitalism in the post-war era has abandoned the project of subordinating its own working classes and is now turning to former colonies. In this context, he further states, I quote, the conflict which Karl Marx has predicted as a national one did not everywhere take place on a national scale, but has been transferred instead to the world stage. World capitalism has postponed its crisis not only at the cost of transforming it into an international crisis. He suggests that the struggle between the classes has now been replaced by the struggle between developing and developed nations that results in international conflicts, or that results in different kind of problem faced by the migrants in the alien lands actually. His concept of neo-colonialism highlights his belief that Western working class benefits objectively from the neo-colonial exploitation of the South or the East. So it will keep on growing actually. So neo-colonialism is, in other words, and we can say neo-colonialism is, in other words, an extension of the post-war boom in the West. It is also related with other schools of thought that emerged in 16s and were known as dependency theory, imitated and popularized by a number of third world Marxist critics like Andre Gunter, Frank, Samir Amin, and many others. The idea of this theory is that capitalism as a world system results in the development of underdeveloped or underdevelopment in the third world. The argument of Andre Frank is relevant in this context when he the argument of Andre Frank is relevant in this context when he says, short of liberation from this capitalist structure or dissolutions of the world capitalist system as a whole, the capitalist satellite countries, region, localities and sector are condemned to the underdevelopment. This is the observation by Andre in connection with colonialism, in connection with developed or underdeveloped.